power to transform your life begins with how you begin your day. A morning routine is the first step to becoming the best version of yourself. Your future success is written in the habits you create in the first hours of your day. What if you could transform your entire day before it even begins? What if the first few hours of your morning could set the tone for success, growth, and productivity? How much more could you achieve if you woke up with purpose and clarity every single day? What if your morning routine was the key to unlocking a life of greater focus, energy, and mental strength? Imagine starting your day feeling in control, empowered, and ready to take on anything that comes your way. What would it feel like to build a morning routine that not only gets you out of bed but sets you up for massive success? The power of your morning routine isn't just about getting up early. It's about creating a solid foundation for everything you want to accomplish. So, if you're ready to take control of your mornings and change your life for the better, then completely tune in. Now let's dive in. Number 1. Wake up early and own the start of day. Most people sleep through the part of the day where life begins to take shape. The early morning hours are not just quiet, they are sacred. They give you something the rest of the day cannot. They give you time with yourself, time without distractions, time to think, time to prepare, time to lead your life before the world has a chance to lead it for you. If you do not start the day on your terms, you are starting it on someone else's, and that is no way to build a meaningful life. Waking up early is more than just getting out of bed. It is a decision to take control. It is a signal to yourself that you are not living by default. You are living by design. You do not wait for motivation. You act with purpose. You do not hope the day goes well. You prepare yourself to meet it with strength. When you rise early, you are ahead not just of time but of your past self. You beat the lazy thoughts before they have a chance to grow. You beat the noise before it can distract you. You beat regret before it can whisper that you have wasted another day. There is power in that kind of action. There is pride in it, and with that pride comes momentum. You carry yourself differently when you know you have done something most people did not. While others hit the snooze button for the third time, you have already moved, planned, and committed. That changes how you show up, not just in the morning but in life. Think of what those first waking moments mean. It is quiet. No notifications, no obligations, no interruptions. Just you and your choices. That silence gives you space to hear what matters. What do you want your life to look like? What is missing? What are you working toward? You cannot answer those questions when your mind is buried in noise. But early in the morning there is clarity. You can feel it. You can think deeply. You can see clearly. That is not just time, it is power. And it is available every single morning. Now, waking up early is not easy at first, especially if you are not used to it. But it is not supposed to be easy. If it were, everyone would do it. Discipline does not grow in comfort. It grows in challenge. And every time you wake up early, even when you do not feel like it, you strengthen the part of you that keeps promises. The part that gets things done. The part that does not fold under pressure. That is the part you need. If you want to build something meaningful in your life, whether it is health, wealth, relationships, or personal growth, it starts with discipline. And discipline starts the moment the alarm rings. You have to decide what matters more, comfort or growth. The warm bed or the strong mind. You cannot have both. If you keep choosing ease, you will keep getting stuck. But if you choose effort, you will keep rising. And not just from your bed, but from the life you have settled for. And once you are up, own it. Do not scroll your phone. Do not wander aimlessly. Decide what those early hours are for. Move your body. Breathe deeply. Drink water. Feed your mind. Write your goals. Look at your priorities. Ask yourself what needs to happen today. What must I get done? Who do I need to become to get there? The answers do not just shape your day, they shape your life. Because how you do the morning is often how you do everything. Sloppy in the morning, sloppy in the afternoon. Unfocused when you wake. Unfocused when it matters most. But if you start strong, if you start early, you set the tone. You say to yourself, I am in charge here. That belief carries you. It gives you confidence. Not arrogance, but calm, steady belief in your ability to show up and follow through. There is a reason why high achievers talk about their mornings. It is not hype. It is habit. It is routine. And those routines are not for show. They are for control. Control of time. Control of focus. Control of effort. Because once the day starts moving, you are reacting to everything. Emails, texts, people, traffic problems. But the morning gives you a window where you get to lead, not react. You get to build, not just respond. Most people live in reaction. But the people who change their lives, the people who grow, who create, who lead, they live in creation. And creation begins before the world wakes up. And do not worry about being perfect. The goal is not to have a picture-perfect routine. The goal is to build discipline, build intention, build strength. One step at a time. Maybe you start with waking up 30 minutes earlier. That is a win. Maybe you use those 30 minutes to journal, or plan or stretch. That is momentum. And as you grow into it, you find what works. The point is that you are no longer drifting. You are steering. And when you keep doing that day after day, something happens. You become someone else. Not overnight, but gradually. You start to believe in your own power again. You trust yourself. You respect yourself. You feel strong, not just physically but mentally. You walk into your day knowing you have already won the first battle. That changes how you handle stress. That changes how you speak. That changes how others see you. Because when a person leads their morning, you can see it in how they carry themselves. Their presence is different. Their energy is grounded. Their attention is sharper. And that comes from practice. If you want to change your life, do not start with the big things. Start with the small, repeatable, non-negotiable habits. Start with your morning. You do not need to overhaul everything. You just need to win the first hour. If you can do that, the rest of the day becomes more manageable, more intentional, more alive. And yes, it will take effort. It will take sleep discipline. It will take a choice to go to bed earlier when your mind wants to scroll or watch another show. But that is the trade-off. And it is worth it, because what you get in return is priceless. You get clarity. You get control. You get confidence. You get momentum. And most of all, you get freedom. The freedom to move through your day without feeling behind. The freedom to lead your life instead of chase it. The freedom to build what matters because you started early enough to make it happen. Wake up early, not because someone said you should, but because you understand that life does not wait. Opportunities do not wait. Growth does not wait. And neither should you. Number 2, build a clear plan before the world wakes up. There is a certain clarity that comes only in the early hours when your mind is fresh and your thoughts are untouched by distractions. That clarity is when your plan for the day should be born. Not rushed, not guessed, not left to chance, but written down with full awareness of what matters most. When you build your plan before the noise of the world begins, you take full ownership of your direction. You are not scrambling to respond to problems. You are preparing to lead with intention. Every day begins as a blank space. What you choose to fill it with is up to you, and that choice must not be random. It must be thoughtful. You cannot hit the mark if you do not know what it looks like. You cannot feel fulfilled if you do not know what you are aiming to complete. A clear plan keeps your focus sharp and your energy protected. Without it, even good effort gets wasted on the wrong things. You must know what deserves your time. You must choose what you will give your energy to. That is what a morning plan gives you. It forces you to slow down for a few minutes and ask important questions. What is my goal today? What will move me forward? What needs to be finished? What can wait? What aligns with my long-term purpose? Without asking those questions first, you will end up reacting to the day instead of directing it. Planning before the world wakes up gives you a huge advantage. Because in that early quiet, you are not under pressure. You are not being pulled in 10 directions. You can think clearly. You can write with calm focus. You can look at your responsibilities and sort them with logic. And in those few minutes, you set a tone of discipline and control. You start your day with structure, not confusion. When you plan early, you cut out wasted motion. You are not wandering through tasks. You are walking with purpose. You save energy. You protect your time. You eliminate the feeling of always being behind. And more than that, you begin to feel a deep sense of personal power. You are not living accidentally. You are making decisions on purpose. Planning early also helps you break down large goals into small steps. That matters. Big goals can feel overwhelming. But when you sit down in the morning and map out what step to take today, you bring the big goal within reach. You do not need to finish everything in a day. You only need to know the next step. A clear plan helps you find it fast and act on it. You do not need a complicated system. You only need honesty and focus. Sit with a pen and paper or a digital note and ask yourself what must happen today. Write down your top 3 tasks. Not 10, just 3. The 3 that matter most. That single action alone puts you ahead of most people. Because while many are checking messages or reacting to others, you are directing your time toward what matters. And once your tasks are written, ask yourself how you will handle them. Block the time. Name the order. Decide the environment. You are not just listing what to do. You are mapping how to do it. That level of clarity leads to strong action. When you enter your work with that level of direction, you do not waste mental energy deciding where to start. You just begin. You move with purpose. That gives you flow. And when you finish what you planned, you feel real satisfaction. Not the kind that comes from being busy, but the kind that comes from being effective. When your plan is clear and your actions align with it, your day feels meaningful, not just full. There is a big difference between a full day and a fulfilling day. One leaves you drained, the other leaves you proud. Building a plan early is not just about productivity, it is about peace. Without a plan, stress builds fast. You are always guessing, always hoping you did enough. But with a plan, you feel grounded. You know what matters. You know what success looks like today. That gives you mental strength. That helps you stay calm even when problems arise. You will be tested. You will face interruptions and challenges. But a solid plan gives you an anchor. It helps you return to what matters. It reminds you not to drift into distraction. And that habit over time becomes one of your greatest strengths. Because success is not built from one great day. It is built from 100 planned days stacked together. That consistency shapes your results. It shapes your reputation. It shapes your future. Planning also shows self-respect. You are telling yourself that your time is valuable, that your goals are worth preparation, that your energy will not be scattered. That mindset matters. Because how you treat your time is how you treat your life. If you plan it well, you build it well. Many people skip planning because they think it is a waste of time. But 5 minutes of clear planning can save hours of wasted effort. It prevents confusion. It protects attention. It points your energy in the right direction. And most of all, it builds the discipline to lead yourself. You cannot always control what happens, but you can always control how prepared you are. Even when plans must shift, the habit of planning early keeps you grounded. It trains you to take responsibility for your focus. It trains you to ask what matters instead of chasing urgency. It teaches you to start each day from a place of clarity, not chaos. This habit built daily is life-changing, because once you learn to lead one day with strength, you start learning how to lead every day. You stop waiting for motivation. You stop reacting to pressure. You begin shaping the life you want with calm intention. Planning your day early reminds you of what you are working for. It connects your actions to your purpose. It stops you from drifting through time without results. It helps you act like someone who is serious about growth. Because the truth is, if you do not plan your day, someone else will do it for you. Your time will be filled either by your goals or by someone else's needs. The choice is always yours. Building a clear plan before the world wakes up is not about doing more. It is about doing what matters. It is about waking up and taking control of your direction. It is about rising early, not just to move but to think, to decide, to act. Before the noise begins, before the demands arrive, before your energy is scattered, you wake, you sit, you think, you write, you decide, you lead. That is the power of a clear morning plan. That is how progress becomes possible. That is how life begins to change. One focused morning at a time. Number 3. Train your body first to sharpen your focus. When you begin your morning by moving your body, you're not just building strength or improving health, you're training your mind to follow through. Physical movement at the start of the day sends a message to your brain. You're serious about showing up. You're not just thinking about discipline, you're living it. You're not waiting for motivation, you're building momentum. Your focus sharpens because your system is awake, alert, and engaged. You step into the day not sluggish, but ready. You feel it in your chest, in your breathing, in your pace. You feel alive. And when your body feels alive, your mind follows. A foggy mind is often the result of an idle body. The less you move, the less energy you produce. That early morning tiredness, that sense of heaviness, it doesn't disappear by lying still. It disappears when you break the stillness. You stretch, you push, you walk, you sweat, you activate your senses. You switch on the part of you that says, let's begin. And that beginning sets the tone for everything that follows. When your first action of the day is physical effort, you train your mind to engage, to focus, to take control. There's no need for a long workout. 10 minutes is better than 0. 5 minutes of consistent movement done daily is more powerful than 1 hour once a month. The goal is not perfection, it's progress. The goal is to build the habit of beginning your day with your body in motion. When that becomes automatic, your clarity increases, your productivity improves. You don't drag through tasks, you move with precision. Physical training is more than a health strategy. It's a decision-making tool. Because when your body is strong, your confidence rises. You approach your responsibilities differently. You are less reactive. You handle pressure better. You think faster. Your attention lasts longer. You are more present with people. You are more committed to your goals. Not because life is easier, but because you are stronger. Starting the day with movement doesn't just benefit the body, it resets the entire system. Your blood flows. Your heart pumps. Your breathing deepens. Your mind clears. You're not waking up with a jolt of caffeine. You're waking up with intention. That kind of start trains your nervous system to expect alertness. It teaches you that mornings are for forward movement, not for delay. You begin to associate early hours with energy and presence. That mental association becomes a strength. There are many ways to train the body in the morning. Walk outside. Do push-ups. Stretch deeply. Ride a bike, follow a routine that suits your level. It doesn't have to be complex. It just has to be done. You don't need fancy equipment. You don't need a perfect plan. You need a decision. You need effort. You need to move. And in that movement, you take command of your state. Physical discipline is directly tied to mental clarity. When you neglect the body, the mind suffers. You're more likely to feel scattered, anxious, or unmotivated. But when you engage the body, the fog lifts. You can think through your problems. You can structure your thoughts. You can handle tasks that used to frustrate you. The mind sharpens through physical repetition. Each rep is not just for the muscle, it's for the brain. Each breath taken in effort is a breath taken in focus. You develop inner stillness through outer movement. Your body was not designed to sit idle. It was built to move, to carry, to climb, to stretch. And when you honor that in the morning, you step into your natural rhythm. You're not forcing energy, you're unlocking it. You don't have to hype yourself up for the day. You've already earned your alertness. That self-generated energy is more reliable than any external boost. It lasts longer. It comes from within. It belongs to you. There is something grounding about doing something physical before the world makes demands on you. You're not reacting to anything. You're choosing to act first. That kind of decision gives you internal strength. It helps you handle interruptions without frustration. It helps you work through challenges without losing your head. You don't feel like you're just surviving the day. You feel like you're directing it, because you started it with strength. Movement teaches consistency. You learn to show up even when you don't feel like it. You stop negotiating with yourself. You stop looking for comfort. You begin to value the discipline more than the mood. And when that mindset grows, your results follow. You complete tasks without needing perfect conditions. You handle responsibility without needing praise. You follow through because it's who you are, not because it's easy. Even on days when you feel tired, movement gives you a reset, a quick stretch, a few push-ups, a walk around the block. These small efforts shift your state. They remind you that you are not stuck, that you can take charge, that you are not controlled by how you feel. You are led by what you've committed to. And that is how mental sharpness is built. Through action, not talk. Through effort, not emotion. Every time you train your body in the morning, you build a silent kind of confidence. The kind that doesn't need to announce itself. The kind that is felt, in the way you speak, in the way you listen, in the way you carry yourself. You don't need to convince anyone that you're focused. They see it. They feel it. It's in your energy. And that kind of presence only comes from discipline. This is not about chasing a perfect physique. This is not about becoming a fitness expert. This is about using the body as a tool to build a focused life. A stable life. A life where you don't wake up already behind. A life where your energy is generated from within, not borrowed from outside. Some people wait until problems arise to get serious about their body. They wait for the doctor to tell them. They wait until the fatigue becomes unbearable. But the smart ones build the habit now. They don't wait for pain to push them. They let discipline pull them. And because of that, they live with more clarity, more energy, and more control. A strong morning begins with physical action. It might be uncomfortable at first. It might be new, but it's worth it. The focus you build from training your body carries into your work, your decisions, your relationships, and your goals. You don't have to rely on willpower later in the day, because you've already proven that you can lead yourself. When you start your day with movement, you're not just waking up, you're waking up your potential. You're reminding your system that today matters, that this moment matters, that your health, your energy, and your clarity are not optional. They are required. And when you treat them that way, they begin to respond. Your focus becomes sharper. Your distractions lose their pull. Your actions become more aligned. Training the body trains the mind. And a trained mind leads a powerful life. That starts in the morning. That starts with effort. That starts with you.
Number 4. Write down goals that push your heart forward. Writing down your goals is not just a habit, it's a commitment to yourself. It means you've decided that what lives inside your heart deserves a place in the real world. It shows that you're not just wishing anymore, you're willing to take responsibility for what you want. That pen in your hand, that notebook in front of you, they're more than tools. They are your anchor to the life you say you want. The act of writing gives shape to dreams. It takes thoughts that feel vague or far away and brings them into clear, defined purpose. And when those goals are tied to your heart, to your values, to the things that truly matter to you, something changes in the way you move through the day. There's a kind of strength that comes from knowing exactly what you're working toward. When your goals speak directly to your heart, you no longer need someone to push you. You feel a pull from within. That kind of pull gives you endurance. It gives you drive. It keeps you going through setbacks and doubt. When goals are written from a place of deep meaning, they bring out your best. They challenge you in the right way. They wake you up with purpose and focus. You're not just chasing numbers or chasing titles. You're working towards something that touches your soul, something that stirs your emotions, something that reminds you every morning why you started. Goals like that are rare, and they don't just appear. You have to sit still, slow down, and listen to what really matters to you. You have to ask, what do I want to feel proud of when I go to bed at night? What kind of life do I want to build? What kind of person do I want to become? The answers to those questions, that's where your real goals live. Once you find them, you write them down. Not once, not someday. Every morning, you remind yourself what you're aiming for. You bring it back to the surface, because the world will pull at your attention. Distractions will try to water down your focus, and if you're not clear, you'll end up living a life that isn't really yours. But when you write your goals each day, you protect your direction. You remind your heart of what it cares about. You reconnect with your mission. Don't be afraid to write goals that feel bold.
Don't lower your standards just to feel safe. Your goals should stretch you. They should make you feel something. They should raise your energy and lift your spirit. If your goals don't make your heart beat faster, they're not big enough. If they don't make you a little nervous, they won't lead to growth. You're not here to live on autopilot. You're here to rise, to build, to become. And when you write your goals down, use your own words. Not what sounds good to others, not what fits someone else's plan. Use words that make sense to you. Be honest, be specific. Don't just write "get better" or "make more money." Write what kind of person you want to be. Write the kind of work you want to do. Write how you want your life to feel. You are designing your future, not filling out a form. There's a certain peace that comes from putting your vision on paper. You no longer carry it only in your mind, where it gets lost among worries and noise. It becomes a living part of your day. You begin to shape your choices around it. You begin to feel ownership. That's the difference between dreaming and building. Writing makes it real. It doesn't matter how far away the goal feels. It matters that it matters to you. If you want it, if it moves you, if it challenges you to grow, then it belongs on that page. You may not know every step yet. You may not have every answer. That's okay. The act of writing is the first step. It means you've claimed it. It means you've accepted that you have the right to pursue something bigger, and that decision alone starts to change how you see the day. Every goal you write should light a fire inside you, not because it's easy, but because it's right, because it speaks to your values, because it reflects your desire to live fully. If a goal doesn't make you feel more alive, set it aside. Don't chase things that don't matter, just to impress people who don't care. This is your life. This is your time. Write what you truly want, and chase it with your full effort. Writing goals also keeps you accountable. Once the words are on paper, they stare back at you. They ask, what are you doing today to move closer? They remind you that time is passing, and with it the chance to become more. They ask for action, not perfection. Progress, not excuses. You don't need to be flawless. You need to be honest. Show up. Do the work. Track your growth. Keep your goals visible. Read them aloud. Carry them in your pocket. Post them on your wall. Don't let them hide in a drawer. Keep them close to your heart. Let them shape your focus. Let them guide your actions. Let them remind you that discipline is love in action. Love for your future. Love for your potential. Love for the life you are building with intention. There will be days when you doubt yourself. Days when the work feels too slow or too heavy. That's when your goals become your anchor. When you read what you wrote, your own words, your own vision, it brings you back. It reminds you of why you began. It lifts your mind out of the fog and back into purpose. It reconnects you to what matters. That's the power of writing. It turns ideas into anchors. It makes emotion into clarity. Some people think writing goals is just a motivational trick. It's not. It's a strategy. It's a structure for your attention. It's a daily ritual that separates the distracted from the focused, the passive from the active, the lost from the determined. A person with written goals moves differently. They don't wait for life to decide. They decide and then they act. The act of writing also deepens belief. When you read your goals every morning, you start to believe they're possible. You begin to feel closer to them. That belief changes your behavior. You stand taller. You think sharper. You speak with more certainty. You are no longer chasing hope. You are acting from commitment, from conviction. Do not let fear or doubt stop you from writing what you truly want. The more honest you are, the stronger you get. The more consistent you are, the clearer your direction becomes. And as that clarity grows, your effort multiplies. You stop wasting time. You stop settling for average. You begin to expect more from yourself, not out of pressure, but out of pride. When your goals push your heart forward, life takes on a new meaning. You wake up with purpose. You move with intention. You carry a quiet fire that no one can give you, and no one can take away, because it's yours. You created it. You committed to it. You wrote it down.
Number 5. Read something that feeds your growing mind daily. Your mind is one of your most valuable assets, and what you put into it every day determines how sharp it becomes. Growth doesn't happen by accident. It's intentional. It starts with what you allow into your thoughts the moment your day begins. When you choose to read something valuable every morning, you are not just gathering facts. You are shaping your thinking,
You are building mental strength. You are directing your attention toward learning, and that one act alone separates you from most people who begin their day in reaction mode. Reading gives you a chance to feed your mind before the world fills it with noise. You don't have to read a full book every day, just a page, just a paragraph. But it has to be something meaningful, something that stretches your perspective, something that challenges your old ways of thinking. It can be a great idea from a book on discipline, a lesson from someone who's already walked the path, a new strategy on how to manage your time or your emotions better. When you take in wisdom daily, you stay aligned with progress. You remind yourself that you're not here to stay the same. You are here to evolve. The mind, just like the body, needs fuel. If you want your decisions to be better, your thoughts to be clearer, your attitude to be stronger, you have to start with better input. What you read each morning sets the tone for your beliefs, and those beliefs shape your actions. If you feed your mind junk, you become scattered and confused. If you feed your mind power, you move through the day with clarity and confidence. That's the difference one small habit can make. Reading isn't just about getting smarter, it's about becoming more aware. It's about noticing patterns in your own thinking. It's about learning how to break free from limitations. Every great leader, every successful builder of a meaningful life, these people didn't stumble into wisdom. They sought it. They made it a habit. They exposed themselves to new thoughts and allowed those thoughts to reshape how they lived. You can do the same. You can decide to start your day with learning instead of entertainment, with growth instead of distraction. Pick material that aligns with the person you're trying to become. If you want to develop stronger discipline, read from authors who speak about structure and commitment. If you want to grow your confidence, read stories of people who overcame fear through action. If you want to improve your relationships, find material that speaks to connection and emotional intelligence. Don't just read anything. Read what helps you get stronger. Read what points you forward. Some people think they don't have time to read, but the truth is, they don't make time. 10 minutes in the morning can shift your mindset for the entire day, and those 10 minutes are yours. Before the meetings, before the phone calls, before the emails, that quiet space you create with a book or article is sacred. It's your opportunity to invest in yourself before anyone else places demands on you. Reading consistently will change how you think, how you speak, how you see the world. It gives you new language to describe your experience. It helps you understand others more deeply. It prepares you to lead when the time comes. It protects your mind from becoming lazy. And more than anything, it helps you build the kind of inner life that creates outer success. There is no shortcut to wisdom, but reading moves you closer to it every day. When you read something powerful, you begin to notice a shift in your awareness. You question more, you observe more. You pause before reacting. You don't jump to conclusions as quickly. You begin to develop patience and depth. Your mind gets used to wrestling with ideas. It doesn't settle for surface thinking. That kind of training pays off when life gets hard, because now you have a reservoir of strength to draw from. You don't fall apart as easily. You've been building your mindset one page at a time. Your ability to grow is directly connected to what you consume. Read to be reminded of your potential. Read to break through doubt. Read to anchor yourself to values that matter. Make it a part of your identity. You are someone who learns. You are someone who sharpens their mind. You are someone who takes personal development seriously. That self-image will influence every other area of your life. It will affect how you approach your work, how you handle stress, how you make choices. Even if no one sees you doing it, you keep doing it. Not for applause, not for validation, but because you know your mind is worth protecting. You know that success isn't just about talent or luck. It's about the thoughts you carry with you each day. And those thoughts are shaped by what you expose yourself to. If you feed your mind with high-quality input, your output, your actions, your habits, your results will reflect that quality. You might not feel a big difference after one day of reading, but after a week, you'll start to notice clearer thoughts. After a month, your conversations will become more grounded. After a year, your entire approach to life will feel sharper. That's the power of a consistent reading habit. It compounds. It builds quietly, in the background until it shows up in every area of your life. Make reading a non-negotiable. Put it on your schedule. Treat it like fuel for your day, because that's exactly what it is. Read with purpose. Read with attention. Don't just skim, engage with the words. Think about how you can apply what you're learning. Ask yourself questions as you go. How does this idea apply to my life? What part of this lesson can I use today? What can I improve based on what I just read? That reflection turns information into transformation. Reading also humbles you. It reminds you that there's always more to learn, that no matter how much progress you've made, there's still room to grow. That mindset protects you from arrogance. It keeps you coachable. It keeps you grounded. It keeps you hungry. And hunger for learning is one of the greatest advantages you can have. If you want to keep moving forward, you have to stay open to new thinking. That starts with what you read. You don't rise by accident. You rise by decision. And one of the most powerful decisions you can make is to become a lifelong learner. Not just when it's convenient. Not just when you feel like it. Every single day. Feed your mind with strength. Give it the material it needs to expand. Treat it with care. Treat it with discipline. Because your future depends on the thoughts you allow into your mind today. And you control that. You can choose what you read. You can choose what you learn. You can choose to grow. And that daily choice made again and again is how your life changes.
Number 6. Speak gratitude aloud to change your mindset fast. When you wake up in the morning, the first few minutes shape how you see the rest of your day. That's the moment when you decide how you're going to walk into the world. And one of the fastest ways to shift your mind into a place of strength is to speak gratitude out loud. Not just think it. Not just whisper it, say it. Say what you're thankful for in a voice you can hear. It doesn't have to be dramatic. It just has to be honest. This one practice has the power to break the cycle of negativity that tries to pull you down. You can't stay angry while you're being grateful. You can't stay stuck in fear while your heart is focused on what you have. Gratitude gives your mind new ground to stand on. It brings light into a space that might have felt heavy a moment before. When you speak it out loud, your body hears it, your emotions respond to it, and your thoughts begin to align with it. Start simple. Say thank you for your health, for your ability to breathe, for the roof over your head, for another day to try again. Even if things aren't perfect, there is always something to be grateful for. And the more you look for it, the more you find it. Gratitude trains your brain to scan for the good, not just the problems. And when you say those things out loud, you bring the good into focus. It's not about ignoring struggle. Life will have difficulty. But gratitude gives you the strength to carry that struggle with dignity. It helps you see that even in pain there is purpose, that even in the unknown you have power. You don't have to wait until everything's perfect to feel grateful. In fact, the people who are most grounded are the ones who learn to give thanks while things are still in progress. Say it when you're tired. Say it when you feel lost. Say it when you don't know what's coming next. That's when it matters most. That's when gratitude becomes a tool, not just a feeling. It becomes something you use to reshape how you approach your day. And once you use it enough, it becomes who you are. It becomes a part of how you lead, how you work, how you show up. You don't need an audience. You don't need to post it anywhere. Just say it while you're brushing your teeth. Say it while making your bed. Say it while you're getting dressed. These little moments are opportunities to remind yourself of what matters. Gratitude turns ordinary actions into moments of reflection. It brings purpose into routines. There are people who carry anger every day and they don't even realize it. It becomes normal to complain. It becomes easy to focus on what's missing. But gratitude cuts through that. It wakes you up to what's going well. It softens your attitude. It makes you more approachable. It changes the way you speak to others because it changes the way you speak to yourself. If you want to become more resilient, more patient, more clear-minded, start with thankfulness. It's not a weakness. It's not soft. It's strong. It takes strength to find something good when things are tough. It takes discipline to focus your energy on what you can appreciate instead of what frustrates you. And when you get in the habit of doing that daily,
you become more centered. You stop reacting. You start responding. You build emotional stability. You can say thank you for the lessons. Thank you for the people in your life. Thank you for the things that didn't work out because they showed you where you need to grow. Every one of those moments is fuel, and speaking that thanks turns it into energy. You create momentum by choosing your perspective. And nothing shifts your perspective faster than gratitude. There's something powerful about hearing your own voice say words of appreciation. It activates your emotions. It creates a connection between your thoughts and your feelings. It's one thing to think something positive. It's another to speak it out loud. When you speak it, you take ownership of it. You claim that truth for yourself. You don't just passively think better thoughts. You actively live them. You don't have to be loud. You just have to be real. Say it clearly. Say it with intention. Make it a habit that grounds your day. You'll start to notice a difference in how you carry yourself, in how you handle setbacks, in how you interact with others. You become less defensive, less reactive, more intentional, because you've trained your mind to see what's good. This habit also sharpens your focus. Gratitude helps you notice progress. It helps you track growth. You start to see how far you've come, instead of obsessing over how far you still have to go. That's a mindset that builds consistency, because when you're grateful for the small wins, you keep moving forward. You stay encouraged. You don't quit as easily. You don't need a fancy journal or a perfect list. You need your voice. You need 5 minutes. You need honesty. Speak about what's working. Speak about who supports you. Speak about your ability to improve. Speak about your courage to begin again. That's the kind of talk that lifts your spirit. That's the kind of talk that rewires your mind. Gratitude is also contagious. When you practice it, people feel it. It shows up in how you listen, in how you respond to stress, in how you carry yourself through pressure. It becomes a part of your presence. And that presence makes you someone others want to be around. Not because life is easy for you, but because you choose strength over bitterness, clarity over noise, peace over drama. If you're going through something hard, that's the best time to start. Gratitude won't erase the pain, but it will help you walk through it with steadiness. It reminds you that you still have tools. You still have choices. You still have value. Say thank you for the chance to keep going, for the lessons hiding inside the hardship. That mindset doesn't happen by default. It happens by decision, and you make that decision every time you speak. Don't wait for something big. Gratitude for the small things builds the muscle. Thank you for a warm shower. Thank you for a good meal. Thank you for the people who love me. Thank you for another morning to try again. The more specific you are, the more grounded you become. Vague gratitude fades. Real focused gratitude sticks. Speak it every day. Speak it even when no one hears you. Especially then. That's when it becomes real. That's when it starts to shape your identity. And when it's part of your identity, you carry it everywhere. Into your work, into your goals, into your relationships. It becomes your advantage. Because a grateful mind is a clear mind. A grateful heart is a strong heart. And a grateful voice is a reminder of who you are becoming.
Number 7. Sit in silence and center your inner strength. When the world wakes up, it gets loud fast. Notifications begin to light up your screen. People start needing things. The outside world demands your attention before you've even had a moment to yourself. But there is one habit that builds power before all of that begins. That is the practice of sitting in silence. Not scrolling, not talking, not planning. Just sitting, being still, letting yourself come back to yourself before the world pulls you in 100 directions. We live in a time when silence is rare. Most people fill every quiet moment with noise. They turn on something. They reach for something. They avoid the stillness. But the stillness is where you find your power. That's where your real thoughts begin to rise. That's where your emotions catch up with you. That's where clarity comes from. Not from movement, but from pause. When you take a few moments each morning to sit in silence, you are giving your mind the chance to settle. You're allowing all the clutter to fade. Your body starts to breathe deeper. Your heart rate slows.
Your mind isn't being yanked in 10 directions. It gets to focus. It gets to reset. That's what strengthens your focus. Being fully present. Not reacting. Just being. This moment of silence is not about avoiding life. It's about preparing yourself for it. It's about creating a gap between the rush and your response. That gap is where you build emotional control. That's where you remember what matters. That's where you connect to your values. If you want to make better decisions during the day, start by building space between stimulus and response. Sitting in silence teaches you how to do that. You don't have to do it for an hour. Start with 5 minutes. Sit in a quiet space. No music, no distractions, just you and your breath. Let your thoughts come and go without judgment. Don't try to fix anything. Don't try to change anything. Just observe. Let it all move through like a stream. That's how you build mental strength. Not by force, but by attention. Most people don't even realize how reactive they've become. One message changes their mood. One comment breaks their focus. One mistake ruins their confidence. Silence gives you the strength to respond rather than react. It helps you stay grounded when things go off track. You develop a stronger baseline, a foundation that can't be shaken every time something unexpected happens. Think of silence as fuel. When you start your day with it, you're not running on fumes. You're moving with intention. You've already checked in with yourself. You've created space for self-awareness, and when you have self-awareness, you have control. You know what's going on inside. You're not blindsided by stress. You're not hijacked by worry. You've already made room for calm. When you center your inner strength in the morning, it doesn't mean the rest of the day will be easy, but it does mean you'll face it with clarity. You'll be able to handle more. You'll be less likely to give your power away. Because when you've already grounded yourself in the morning, you don't need external approval to feel stable. You're not chasing validation. You've already found it in the quiet. This practice also helps you hear what's going on beneath the surface. We all have thoughts we push aside, feelings we don't want to deal with. Silence brings them up, not to overwhelm you, but to help you process them. It gives you a safe space to listen to yourself. You can't change what you don't understand. Sitting quietly helps you understand what needs attention. You'll start to notice patterns. You'll see where your mind goes first thing in the morning. Maybe it's worry. Maybe it's comparison. Maybe it's pressure. That's good to know. That awareness is the first step toward growth. Once you see it clearly, you can begin to shift it. You can choose better thoughts. But you can't do that if you never stop to listen. This is how you build emotional intelligence. It's how you regulate your reactions. It's how you gain perspective before making a decision. Silent moments teach you to be with yourself. Not in a harsh way, but in an honest one. And the more honest you are with yourself, the stronger your choices become. You're not living on autopilot anymore. You're leading your own mind. Sitting in silence also builds patience. In a world that pushes you to move fast, it takes strength to slow down. It takes discipline to wait, to breathe, to observe. But that's what gives you the upper hand. That's what separates people who lead their life from those who are dragged by it. The ones who sit in stillness are the ones who respond with wisdom instead of reaction. You'll also notice how much better you feel physically. Stress sits in the body. When you're always rushing, your body carries tension. Silent sitting helps release that. Your breath deepens. Your posture improves. Your muscles relax. That kind of physical calm becomes your default, not the exception. It shows up in how you walk, how you talk, how you show up. And here's something else. Your mind becomes sharper. The best ideas often don't come in a rush. They show up when you're still, when you give yourself space to think clearly. That's why some of the most successful people guard their quiet time. Because that's when breakthroughs happen. That's when intuition speaks. That's when you hear the next step. If you skip this moment of silence, you're starting your day in reaction mode. You're already behind. You're chasing instead of leading. But when you give yourself those few minutes, you take control. You move with power. You move with calm. You're not easily shaken. You've already centered your strength before the noise even begins. And the more you do it, the more natural it becomes. you start to crave that quiet. It becomes a daily reset. It becomes your inner anchor. No matter what's going on outside, you've already built peace inside. That's not weakness. That's wisdom. That's leadership. That's what makes you reliable. Not just for others, but for yourself. Make it a daily commitment. Not because it's trendy. Not because someone told you to. But because you felt the difference it makes. Because you want to lead your mind. Not just follow your impulses. You want to face the day with calm. Not chaos. You want to respond with clarity. Not confusion. There's something unshakable about someone who sits in silence each morning. They don't need to shout to feel heard. They don't need to react to feel important. They've already done the work. They've already met themselves in the quiet. And that presence, that quiet strength, that changes everything.
Number 8. Review your vision and commit with full energy. When the day begins, your mind is fresh. That is the best time to remind yourself of why you are doing what you're doing. Life is too full of distractions to just drift. It's too easy to get lost in routine and forget what you're working toward. That's why every morning you must take a few moments to bring your full attention back to your vision, not just your to-do list, but the deeper reason that fuels your actions. It could be your dream, your mission, your ideal future, something that matters more than comfort or convenience. If you don't reconnect with that vision each day, you start to move without direction. You become efficient, but not effective. You stay busy, but you don't feel fulfilled. The truth is, we all need something to aim for. Without a target, we wander. Reviewing your vision grounds you. It brings your effort into alignment with your purpose. It puts the why back into your work. But it's not enough to glance at your vision. You have to review it with full attention. You have to feel it, see it, stand inside it in your mind. Imagine the outcome you're building. Visualize the life you are creating. Remind yourself of what it means to you, how it will feel to reach it, what it will change in your life. That emotional connection is what sparks motivation. When you feel that spark, it becomes much easier to act with purpose. A vision without commitment is just a hope, a wish, something that floats in the distance. But when you pair that vision with real energy, something changes in you. You're no longer just talking about it. You're moving toward it with force. That commitment must be real, not half-hearted, not passive. Full energy means full engagement. It means showing up with everything you've got, even when it's hard, even when nobody sees it. This moment each morning is your reset. You remind yourself of your path. You get clear on where you're going, and then you make the decision to recommit, not because someone told you to, not because you're trying to impress anyone, but because the vision matters to you, because the life you want is worth the effort. This practice strengthens your discipline. It reminds you that greatness doesn't come from chance. It comes from choosing again and again to keep going. Energy doesn't come from caffeine or loud music. Real energy comes from purpose. When your actions are tied to a meaningful reason, you don't have to force effort. You are pulled forward by vision. You're not trying to escape something. You're working to create something. That kind of energy lifts you beyond fatigue. It gives you the strength to do hard things. There are going to be days when you don't feel like showing up, when your body is tired, or your mind feels heavy. Those are the moments when this habit becomes most powerful. When you remind yourself why you started, why it matters, and who you are becoming in the process. The energy you need is not somewhere outside of you. It's inside you, waiting to be activated by meaning. Meaning wakes up energy. Vision directs it. You can't afford to leave this to chance. You can't afford to let life distract you every morning and expect to stay focused. Every single day will offer you excuses to forget your goals. People will pull you into their priorities. Problems will try to shrink your attention. You must train yourself to protect your vision. It's yours. No one else is responsible for keeping it alive. That is your job. That is your power. Revisiting your vision daily also keeps it fresh. It allows you to make adjustments. It helps you stay aligned with your values. Sometimes, over time, your goals shift. Your priorities change. Your heart speaks differently. This practice lets you stay in tune with that. You're not clinging to an old plan. You're growing with intention.
You're moving forward based on clarity, not just momentum, and the commitment must come from within. That's what makes it last. External motivation is helpful, but it fades. When you connect with your vision in a personal way, your motivation deepens. You're no longer acting because someone expects it. You're acting because you want to. Because you've made a decision to become the kind of person who follows through. You've raised your standard. You've said, "This is who I am now." That decision made each morning builds identity. You begin to see yourself as someone who honors their goals, someone who follows through. That belief system is powerful. It influences every choice you make. It shapes how you respond to stress, how you handle setbacks, how you keep momentum. When you believe in your vision and back it up with full effort, your confidence grows. And when your confidence grows, your results change. Let your vision be clear. Make it simple. Write it down. Read it aloud if you need to. Let it speak to you. Let it challenge you. Let it call you higher. There's no growth in comfort. If your vision doesn't scare you a little, it's probably not big enough. You don't need to know every step, but you do need to know where you're going and why it matters. Then comes the commitment. That's the part most people skip. They love the vision, but they avoid the sacrifice. The early mornings, the focused effort, the rejection, the repetition, but all of that is required. Vision without commitment is just a fantasy. But vision with daily commitment, that becomes power. That becomes movement. That becomes transformation. When you wake up and look at your vision, make a decision. Decide to bring your full energy to it today. Not half effort. Not when I feel like it. Full. That means you do the work. Even when no one's watching. It means you hold yourself accountable. You raise your personal standard. You become someone who moves with discipline, not emotion. That kind of person doesn't need motivation every day. They're already aligned with purpose. They're already living by design. They don't need a reward to keep going. The process itself is the reward. The act of becoming more focused, more disciplined, more clear. That is what builds a meaningful life. Commit with full energy. That's how you gain ground. That's how you separate yourself from the crowd. While others hesitate, you take action. While others wait for inspiration, you create it. And it all starts in the morning. When you choose to remember who you are and what you're building, this is the edge you've been looking for. This is how you stop drifting and start leading. One decision made every morning. One commitment, backed by energy. One vision brought to life through action. You don't have to be perfect, but you do have to be consistent. And when you show up that way, day after day, the results will follow. The progress will show. The vision will turn into reality.
Number 9. Drink water and move to awaken your body. Every morning when you wake up, the first thing your body needs is to be nourished, energized, and awakened. It's a simple process that can unlock your energy for the entire day. Drinking water and moving your body might sound basic, but these two steps are critical to getting your body in the right state. They aren't just about hydration or exercise. They are about giving your body the fuel it needs to perform at its best. Many people overlook the importance of these actions, but the truth is, they are foundational to everything else you do. The first thing to understand is that during the night, your body goes without water for hours. When you wake up, you are likely in a state of mild dehydration. Your body needs water to jumpstart all its systems, and it needs it immediately. Water supports every single cell in your body. It helps transport nutrients, maintain temperature, and flush out waste. Without water, everything slows down. Your brain doesn't fire as well, your energy drops, and your ability to focus diminishes. Simply put, water is the most powerful tool you have to begin your day with clarity and energy. When you drink water in the morning, you are giving your body the gift of movement. You are telling your body that it's time to go, that it's time to stop resting, to stop being sluggish, and to start being active and engaged. Water starts the process of awakening, and it does it quickly. Your cells begin to rehydrate, your metabolism gets going, and your mind clears. There's a difference between feeling tired and groggy versus feeling alive and alert, and water is the first step toward making that shift.
Along with water, movement is equally important. Sitting in bed or lying around after waking up only invites sluggishness. You are not a machine that can just turn on and off. Your body needs to be woken up. It needs to be shaken out of its slumber. It needs to move. Movement gets the blood flowing, opens up your muscles, and activates your nervous system. Whether it's stretching, doing a quick walk, or even jumping up and down for a few minutes, movement signals to your body that the day has started. It's the fastest way to shake off the sleepiness and bring your body into the present moment. The problem is, too many people hit snooze on their alarm and fall back into comfort. They stay in bed and wait for motivation to strike. They wait for the moment when everything will magically feel right. But life doesn't work like that. The body doesn't awaken by chance, it requires action. It requires you to move, and it's in the movement that you begin to feel the vitality you need for the day ahead. You don't need to do anything extreme to get the body moving. It can be simple, a few deep stretches, a brief jog in place, just something to get the blood circulating and your muscles engaged. The more you get used to this practice, the more natural it will feel. Your body will start to crave movement first thing, and that energy will follow you throughout the day. You will have more focus. You will be more engaged in your work. You will feel stronger physically and mentally. Remember that your body is the foundation of your success. Without it functioning well, your mind won't work at its highest capacity. That's why you can't afford to skip these first steps. If you start the day feeling sluggish, drained, or uninspired, it will be much harder to build momentum. But when you drink water and move your body, you create an instant shift. You give yourself the boost you need to handle whatever comes your way. This is how you take control of your mornings. This is how you turn your body into a powerful tool for your goals. It's not just about drinking water or doing a few stretches. It's about setting the tone for the rest of your day. The way you start your morning influences everything that follows. By drinking water and moving, you are building a foundation of energy. You are telling yourself that you are ready for action. You are preparing your body for the work ahead. You are ensuring that your physical state is in alignment with your ambitions. Another thing to keep in mind is how movement can impact your mood. Many people struggle with feelings of tiredness or stress right when they wake up. But movement helps to reset your emotions. It floods your body with endorphins and oxygen. These are the natural chemicals that make you feel better, lighter, and more positive. You don't need to rely on external sources of energy like caffeine when you start your day with water and movement. Your body has everything it needs to feel vibrant and strong. Your body is an instrument, and like any instrument, it needs tuning. Movement is part of that tuning. If you want to perform at your highest level, your body needs to be primed. Drinking water and moving helps you do just that. It's the simplest, most effective way to optimize your physical state and awaken your potential. It's the small decisions you make at the beginning of the day that set you up for success. What's amazing about these simple actions is that they don't require a lot of time or energy. They are things that you can do in just a few minutes, but the effects last far longer. When you hydrate your body and move it first thing in the morning, you are creating a momentum that pushes you forward. You are setting the stage for a productive, focused, and successful day. It's the quickest way to step into your personal power. So don't wait for energy to come to you. Don't sit around hoping for the right feeling to strike. Go get it. Go create it. Drink water and move your body. Awaken your body, your mind, and your spirit. It's in these moments that you are reminding yourself that you are capable, that you are strong, that you are in control. Your day is yours to shape, and the first step toward greatness is making sure your body is ready to take on the challenge. When you make water and movement part of your daily routine, you make vitality, clarity, and energy part of your everyday life.
Number 10. Celebrate small wins to build lasting momentum today. Every day presents you with 100 opportunities to create momentum, but the key to unlocking that power is not always in the big victories. It's in the small wins. Those tiny moments, the ones you might overlook or dismiss, are the very building blocks of long-lasting progress. You see, momentum doesn't just appear overnight. It's not a one-time achievement. It's a series of actions and decisions that build upon each other. The secret is that those actions don't need to be monumental to matter. They just need to be consistent. When you start celebrating small wins, you begin to acknowledge the effort, the discipline, and the progress you're making, no matter how small it seems. It's easy to think that only the big achievements are worth celebrating. After all,
Society tends to place the most value on the big milestones, the promotions, the awards, the breakthroughs, but in truth, the daily grind, the small wins, are where success is truly built. The reason for this is simple: consistency. Big wins are the result of many small wins stacked on top of each other. One small win after another creates a rhythm, a flow, and that momentum propels you forward. Celebrating these small victories is powerful because it changes how you see your progress. If you're only focused on the end goal, it can be easy to feel discouraged. Maybe you're not where you want to be yet, and it feels like a long road ahead. But when you recognize the small wins, you change the narrative. Instead of seeing an endless journey ahead, you see all the progress you've made so far. It shifts your mindset from one of scarcity to one of abundance. You start to realize that every step forward, no matter how small, is valuable and worth celebrating. Now let's talk about why this is so important. The reason small wins matter is because they keep you engaged. They keep you motivated. When you achieve a small win, it reinforces your belief that you're capable of reaching bigger goals. It tells you that you're on the right track, that the work you're putting in is paying off. And that's critical, because motivation can be one of the most difficult things to maintain, especially when you're working on long-term goals. You can't expect motivation to always be there. Sometimes you'll feel tired, discouraged, or uncertain. But when you've created a habit of recognizing and celebrating your small wins, motivation becomes easier to sustain. This celebration doesn't have to be grand or extravagant. In fact, the more simple and personal, the better. It's about the internal acknowledgement that you've made progress. It could be as simple as taking a moment to smile at yourself, saying "well done," or marking the achievement in a journal. It's about giving yourself credit for taking action, for making an effort, for showing up. You don't need an outside source of validation. You are the one who gets to decide that your effort counts. Think about this: when you celebrate small wins, you're creating a positive feedback loop. The more you celebrate, the more you reinforce the idea that you're making progress. That's how momentum works. It's like planting seeds. You might not see the full growth right away, but every time you celebrate a small win, you're nourishing the plant. Over time, that momentum builds, and eventually, it starts to feel effortless. The key is staying consistent with those celebrations, no matter how small the wins are. Another reason celebrating small wins is so critical is that it keeps you focused on the present moment. If you're always focused on the end goal, it's easy to overlook the steps you're taking right now, but success is built on what you do today. If you're too busy looking at the finish line, you'll miss the beautiful moments of progress happening right in front of you. By celebrating small wins, you shift your attention to the process, not just the destination. You realize that every small action is part of a larger, meaningful journey. Sometimes people get caught up in the idea that celebrating small wins is unnecessary, or that it's too trivial to matter. They might think, what's the point of celebrating something so small? It doesn't change anything. But here's the truth: those small wins are the foundation of success. They are what build confidence. They are what fuel your drive, and they are what allow you to sustain the momentum needed to reach bigger goals. Think of it this way: if you run a marathon, you don't just focus on the finish line, you focus on every step you take along the way. Every mile marker you pass is a small victory. Without those small milestones, you would never reach the finish line. It's the same in life. If you wait until you hit the big goal to celebrate, you might miss all the other wins you achieved along the way. Instead, celebrate every small step forward, because those moments add up to something far greater than you might realize. Here's a powerful truth to remember: your journey is yours, and your success is personal. The way you define progress is not based on other people's standards. It's about what you are doing, what you're learning, and how you're growing. When you acknowledge and celebrate your small wins, you are affirming to yourself that you are making progress. You are reinforcing the idea that you are worthy of success, and that your efforts matter. Don't wait for someone else to validate your progress. Don't wait for a big promotion or a major achievement to give you the confidence to move forward. Celebrate your daily victories, no matter how small they seem. The more you do this, the more you will find that your ability to stay motivated and productive will skyrocket. The process will become less about effort and more about joy. You'll look forward to the small wins, knowing that they are leading you to something much bigger. Remember that the greatest accomplishments in life don't happen overnight. They are the result of countless small wins, strung together. The more you celebrate them, the more momentum you build, and that momentum will carry you further than you ever imagined.